Morning, everybody. Do a quick video this morning. Uh, demonstrating or voicing my complete disgust and aberration for YouTube. Yeah. They took down another one of my videos on my other channel. They said, again, of course, every time they've ever taken mine down is for medical misinformation, and it's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. They even said in the video, this is from a guy in the Netherlands. He's a top official. This is all factual. It's all fact-based. There's a video out there. The evidence is out there. You can download the information that I'm talking about. It's all there. And plus, otherwise, these are my opinions. I did a whole disclaimer, and they still took it down. And I put up I did an appeal, and within 20 minutes or less, it came back. But nope, sorry, done. And that's what YouTube is now. It is the government's arm of censorship. They censor everybody. If you say one thing that they don't like in it, you never know what it's going to be. You just don't know. You could say aspirin is one of the best pain relievers that we've ever known, and they could take that and twist it on you and go, yeah, that's medical misinformation, because there's several other things that can help with pain outside of that. And it's so ridiculous. It's just ignorant. And it's one of those deals where you have no communication with them. There's none whatsoever. They just do it, and that's it. You don't get to talk to a human. They've taken the box where you can appeal, put your appeal in to 100 characters. That's it. 100 characters is all you can say for yourself. And who are these people? What are they? Because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. YouTube is now like the Soviet arm, Pravda. They don't let nothing out they don't like. It don't matter if it's true or not. It don't matter if it's facts or not. They don't care. They don't care. It's the subject matter. It's their intent. It's information. It's truth. They don't want truth out there. You can't have the truth out there unless they say it's the truth. And we all know how that works. Just this past spring, I had a video taken down from over a year ago. Over a year. And they came back and went through my files and took down a video. I was like, what? What's going on here? And I've got 100 and I've got 129 subscribers. That's it. 129 measly subscribers. I have no reach. I'm not a power player in the social media game, yet they feel like I need to be censored. This guy can't talk. This guy cannot talk. I don't have more than 20, 30, 40 views on any of my videos for any reason at any point in time, and I still get censored. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. To them to censor me, that's as bad as the government coming down on a 7-Eleven employee for saying, gas prices are like too high. Whoa, one person out of a million, 500,000 7-Elevens saying gas too high. Whoa, little fella. Whoa, you can't say that. You can't say that. You're wrong. Misinformation. It's ridiculous. Pendulum swinging. Pendulum swinging. I wish somebody like Elon Musk could buy YouTube. I would move all my shit over to Rumble, but I don't have any subscribers over on Rumble. I have a channel over there, and that's one of those things. It's not very user friendly that I found. But this is sad. I thought we were past this. I thought we were good with this. That guy from the Netherlands, that's one of the most viral videos going around That guy is saying straight up what he found. And that's all I talked about. That's not all I talked about, but in medical, that's all I talked about. I'm disappointed. This is bad. This is bad. Yeah. I get on here to spew my beliefs and my thought processes on stuff, and it's not life changing. It's not a world changer, but it's mine, and I have free speech, and there's no way that these guys should be regulating anything on my channel. In the past, it was they worried about it was fomenting terrorism. Yeah, you can't have all this talk, but that's fine on here. You can put all that on here you want. If I was with Hamas, I could say anything I want, and they'd never say, I wouldn't get no strikes. They wouldn't take down none of my videos. I can say anything I want because they are afraid. You're so fucking woke that they will side with terrorist freedom of speech before they will in American citizens. They will. They've already proven it. They stand for terrorist free speech first. They stand with anti-American people before they will an American. They'll stand with anybody. YouTube, that's you. You stand behind and you protect anybody other than American citizens, especially conservative ones. And you want to go even deeper, especially if they're a Christian conservative, and go even deeper if they're a Christian conservative white male. That is your ultimate enemy. That's who you want out. Excuse me. I know that. You know that. Everybody knows that. You're Marxist, psycho, freaking retards. You just, I don't know what motivates you other than just greed and hatred for humanity. Because there's no reason. They've got a new deal. When I started this video, there's a new deal pops up that says there's new managing moderators. What is that? Managing moderators. What are they managing? Who are they moderating? And why? Why? I mean, if you did something sensible, hold on. Okay. Let the dogs out. But yeah, if you say, I mean, YouTube, listen, freedom of speech is specifically for the speech you don't like. For the speech I don't like. It's allowed. You don't get to say that. I don't get to shut you down. You don't get to shut me down. It doesn't matter. Literally, they've come up with this whole thing about, fomenting violence. You can't, you can't get it. It's not freedom of speech to foment violence and, and do all that. That's a very thin line of speech that could lead to violence. That's a thin line. What I'm doing has nothing to do with that. What I'm talking about has nothing to do with that. I'm giving out facts and information on people's situation around the world. And it's true. YouTube, you don't want truth, do you? You want what you want. You want what furthers the agenda of BlackRock and Vanguard and State Street. They're the ones that are really running this. They're the ones that dictate the algorithm and what it takes down and what it doesn't. You know that? I don't know that. This is just ridiculous. I guess it's over, man. I guess you guys have decided freedom of speech is not important. We know you hate the Second Amendment. We know that. Oh God, if I got on here and was holding a gun or something, yeah, they'd probably call the FBI on me. They'd probably label me as a terrorist. They'd definitely probably take my they'd definitely take my channel down. And that's one of the saddest things of all. Our first two rights in the Bill of Rights are the last two YouTube wants to even entertain protecting. They look at those two as, I'll decide what you can say, and I've already decided you don't need a gun in the story. They don't want to debate. Nobody needs a gun. You don't need a gun. It's like those ignorant whores on The View. That stupid bitch said, "Yeah, I have an AR-15. Why would you hunt with that? Because if you shot a deer with it, it'd be obliterated. You wouldn't be able to. There would be nothing to eat." See, that's how YouTube and the left are. They're so ignorant of so many topics, but yet they want to be the arbiter of truth. You can't do that. If you don't know, you can't call balls and strikes. If you're blind, you don't get to call balls and strikes. You don't get to. You have to be. This is disgusting. I hadn't had one taken down in a while, and I forgot how mad it made me. Because the stuff I talked about in there, all true. All of it. And I didn't even discuss actually medical, like, advice or information. I told a story about a health professional in the Netherlands that saw the data and saw it was bad, and he downloaded it and sent it to a guy he trusted. And the guy he trusted redacted everything. He had redacted everything. They made sure everything was redacted, patients' names and information, and just put out the raw data. And it's bad. That's all I said. It's bad. I talked about how he saw a trend going. I used a word that he observed that I don't know if they like that word or not. Yeah. He noticed that expiration dates had come early on some people. That didn't seem logical. That's all I talked about medically, was what he had said. And there's so much, it's out there. There's so much true information like that out there. And it's getting more every day. I don't know how YouTube's going to keep up with it. I guess they're just going to keep striking channels. I don't know, because that thing's everywhere. I guess I'm going to have to go on my account on X, Twitter, and just start doing stuff there. At least Elon will let me talk. At least Elon will pay attention, let people tell the truth. He won't hide it. I was just so pissed, man. I can't believe that. 129 subscribers. And they're taking me down for medical misinformation, which was nothing but the truth. It was just telling the story of a guy who's doing the right thing. And they don't like that. I don't know who else is watching. I got one person watching. I don't know who you are or why you're on here. I've been on this channel in forever. This is my backup channel. It's been that long since I got a strike and couldn't post on my other channel. But this is this is sad. This is sad. This is Big Brother at its best, at the smallest of us, the least of us in this society. They're censoring. They're making sure even grassroots down at the very lowest can't have free speech. You can't communicate freely. You can't say what you think. You can't. You can't be honest. You have to watch it, and that's what's so aggravating. You watch anything on YouTube, and several of the people I watch, they'll go so long, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to move over to another platform so we can really talk, so we can say things that don't get struck." YouTube would have way more business if they get out of people's freaking business. If they leave people alone and quit censoring, they'd have 10 times more business. But people, they go to other platforms because you won't let them talk. You're an idiot. You're idiots. I don't know how you. If this is actually people striking these videos, I just can't imagine somebody sitting there and bing, they get a deal. Hey, you got a deal, check. And they look at my video and go, come here, look at this guy, he's lying. Oh my God, what disinformation, malinformation. Oh my God, stop it. Oh my God, I'm glad we caught that one. Really? Is that what's happening? Wow. I thought YouTube had come around a little bit because I hadn't had one struck in a while. I've been talking pretty free. I might have a couple of times gone, oh, put in big disclaimer. Any information going forward is only my personal opinion. I am not stating it as fact, and no one should act on anything I say. I even did a disclaimer in that other video. I did that disclaimer, and it didn't help. This is the first time they've struck something that I threw a disclaimer on. Man, what is wrong with you, YouTube? What is wrong with you? And I've never, ever, if anybody out there knows of anybody out there other than like the 500,000 people, subscribers, that actually get to take their lawyer and go to YouTube and sit down in front of them and get to ask questions. I don't have that privilege. I don't have a privilege of talking to someone and going, why am I being taken down? How am I being a danger to the community and your guidelines? We see how your guidelines work. They're as foggy as the San Francisco Bay, man. They're so foggy, nobody knows exactly until it clears and you say, oh, yeah, this is what that means. Oh, yeah, we've decided you can't say that. I can't say that. Why not? Because it's misinformation. I don't know if y'all saw that the disinformation board that they said they caught the old gal that was a radical leftist that was going to run it. They caught her with her propaganda, and she got fired. And they said they were setting it aside. They said they were setting this disinformation board aside. And they were just, yeah, we're not going to deal with it now. Well, as soon as the freaking lights went out that day, they started it back up. And they've been running it ever since. And they've got these people out there that are going. I don't know if I can even say this now. I don't know if this will get taken down. But it's all true. It's all true. It's been proven that the government is censoring us. The Twitter files prove that out, and they're unloading more of it all the time. Taibbi and what's his name were back in Congress just the other day, and they found more and more and more. And YouTube is part of it. But hey, I'm a problem. Little 129 subscriber. Tommy from Texas. Oh man, that guy's trouble. We got to make sure he could create an uprising. And the government has asked us to watch those people. Make sure no uprisings. We'll take down that 129 subscriber video and save the world. Oh no, man, that's pretty cool. They save the world every day, taking down videos. Imagine the harm that they've saved people's feelings by taking down videos. Think of that. Think of how many social justice warriors didn't have a meltdown because they took down the right videos. They're doing all the good. Oh. What is this world coming to? What the hell? No, I know what the hell. It's the end times of the devil loosed. And this is the game we're in. Gog and Magog, Battle of Gog and Magog is next. They've never I can't believe they have never taken my channel down for anything biblical. You know, I talk Bible a lot, about faith a lot. I've never said anything about my excuse me. They're medical experts, they're science experts, they're political experts, they're global governance experts. They don't know anything about religion. So far, I guess, because I've never had anything struck on religion. I wonder if they fact check that, because I know they don't like Christianity. We know that that's been proven out. But we battle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers. Yeah, I mean, it's an ideology we're battling. I bet a lot of the people that work for YouTube and do these strikes probably just go with what the algorithm said. If the algorithm flagged me, they'd probably just go with the algorithm. They've probably been given enough training that the algorithm is sophisticated enough. Don't worry about it. The algorithm flagged it. You may want to take a look at it, but you don't have to. Has that AI, has the advertising and the pushing of it not exploded in the last year and a half, 2 years? I mean, just exploded. It's the mask is off. It's on. It's a battle. That's not even a battle. They're winning. And for the few people that are fighting back, they just don't have the platform or the voice. They just don't have it. I sent my wife a video yesterday that, again, someone did the good research and they lined it out. And I hate to say it, I can't say it surprised me, but I was surprised that top shareholders in Tesla, same old boys as the rest of them, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, they own Elon. And for Elon to sit there the other day in that deal and say, they're not going to blackmail me with advertising. You can say that about that one entity, because BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street have hundreds of other companies they'll advertise on there. They're not going to lose money. They're not. That's not their Vanguard, State Street, and BlackRock are not in the business of losing money. They'll lose money in a small increments to ruin businesses and to ruin people. But in the overall scheme, what's the number right now? That they manage $17 trillion in assets. 3 companies. All in my life growing up, I always heard, no monopolies. AT&T was busted up in my lifetime because it had a monopoly. What about these guys? They own 80% of the Fortune 500 companies. They're the top shareholders, and look it up. Patrick Bet-David, he did it on one of his videos. Those 3 own over 80% of the Fortune 500 companies. They're top shareholders in all those companies. What do you do? What about monopolies? It's okay if it's your buddy. It's okay if it's your side. But again, I just can't. This is so it's so unnecessary. It's so authoritarian that they take down my videos. it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. During COVID, I had several videos taken down for medical misinformation that was all right. It was all proven right. Well, hell, once it all came out, but that didn't change the fact that they take down your videos. It doesn't matter. I'm not being monetized or anything, so I'm not losing money. It's just a principle thing. Why? I don't know. I don't know. We Christian conservatives can't. We can, but we don't understand why they do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to people. If it was company policy and they were saying, "Hey, why didn't you flag this? Why didn't you flag that?" I'd be like, "Yeah. It's free speech, man. I don't like it either, but what do you want me to do? You gotta err on the side of more speech rather than less. If you're gonna do the job, you gotta have a big strike zone, for free speech. You really do. We have plenty of examples around the world and just the history I've lived through of what happens when you do that, when you take people's free speech away. Yeah, it doesn't go good for the people. So you take their free speech and you take their guns, and you have all the rest of the world except us. And that is literally the rest of the world besides us. We're the only ones that have those two rights, or we're supposed to have those two rights. They're infringing on them at a breakneck pace in every category for every subject, every square inch of this flat room. I've never had. Hey Vic, what's up? Wow. I can't believe I never had anything taken down about flat Earth. Nobody's ever said anything about flat, then flagged or struck any of my videos. But this is just getting wow. I've known it's bad, but for them to take down that video at this point, with all the truth coming out about what has happened, and they're still taking down videos. I don't get it. How have you been, Vic? Good to see you too. Everybody's starting to use these freaking acronyms and stuff, and I'm having to catch up. I just sit there and look at it and go, what would that mean? Oh, good to see you. If she's still there, unless she just popped in and said hey and popped out. But I encourage people to do more. If you don't have a channel, get you one and get out there and talk. The more voices, the better. We gotta fight this fight. For my lifetime, Christian conservatives have not really fought. We've made suggestions and we've pronounced, hey, we have principles, and they go, oh yeah, well look at this. Well, okay, and we back off. Good, stay that narrow road, babe. It's getting harder these days. They're testing us. We know the end, and that's a good thing. That's one of the good things. I just hope this all goes down in my lifetime, man. After learning what all I've learned, I want to see it play out. See if it's the way we think it's going to be. But if I don't, the good Lord's going to bless. He's blessed me enough anyway. My cup runneth over. Cannot lie. We off another subject now. I know, right, Vic? I mean, everything's really lining up for the battle of Gog and Magog, and it is obvious that the devil is at hand in everything. I don't care what it is. Hell, you can't hardly find a snow cone stand that ain't got a atheist running it. But the about 2 weeks ago, that's a whole nother subject. Yeah, right, Vic. I mean, it's just so obvious. And on on that subject, I keep seeing these good researchers that do such good videos about all these ancient ruins, about all these anomalies, and they all walk right up to that line. And some of them may not know that Armageddon is past is an option, but they all say basically the same thing. There is a catastrophe. There is an event. There is a reset. It's obvious. Look at this stuff. But nobody will go, pretty obvious right here was the end of the millennial reign of Christ. Right here is basically where it all started to go downhill. It all just from the jump, it looks like this. A starting gun was shot, and from there forward, nothing but war, nothing but death, nothing but obfuscation, and you name the word. That's a deception, and they did it in every aspect of life. And we've known, that's what's crazy, is for a long time, people have known. Freemasons, Jesuits, Scottish Rite, Skull and Bones, they've known all these secret societies exist. And nobody has said, hey, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? History shows y'all been pretty bad actors. Let's cut this out. Nobody, it just keep flowing. I mean, they running the show. You think if there's any righteousness at all, we'd be able to carve through in some places. We'd be able to have some influence somewhere, but we have zero influence. They have it all. They can change. They've changed every industry. They've changed academia. They've changed science. They've changed government. They've changed history. They've changed it all. We hadn't had to say it nothing. It's just crazy. I think the biggest problem, and people may disagree with the whole deception, is the timeline deception of, are we in 2023? Is this Monday? Is it? Because we know they changed the calendars and stuff. We know now that there were 13 months, 28 days in a month. We know, I mean, that stuff is documented. They found the artifacts. That's the way they used to do it. So our time frame is so screwed up. We don't know where we are in the seasons. We don't know where we are in the time frame of history. And the seasons. My whole life, I always thought it was strange that the coldest part of winter was January and February, right? And it would only make sense that a new year would start with spring. Just in my mind, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. First of the year, bam, marks the beginning of spring. And, we've got the equinoxes. And a lot of people have said if you go by those, yeah, that calendar should be adjusted. It would make more sense. But we all know. I just, get your popcorn, stay on the narrow path, and don't be a sucker. It's so funny, these all these suckers that are going to these mega churches thinking, right? It's one of those deals that, wow, where are we? What are we doing? We know we're not spinning in an ever expanding galaxy that's been expanding millions and billions of miles every year into infinity. And they're just starting to say, wait a minute, that might be impossible. Yeah, don't be a sucker. But that's got to, they're starting to say it's impossible, that it's been expanding in all directions since the beginning of time to infinity, that it just keeps going. There's no evidence of that. Ain't no evidence of all that. All this stuff. Uh, it's just so ridiculous. And guys like Witzik gets it that are way smarter than me are starting to nail these Globers down. He's starting to insist, you prove this sucker spinning. Every one of your scientists since we've recorded has said, yeah, every that gum test we do is a negative result. It's not. We can't tell you if it's spinning or not. We know it is, but we can't prove it. What, that's got to be the devil involved, because at that point, an honest broker would go, she ain't spinning, folks. She's flat still, no movement. We've tried everything. We have calculated, and we have determined that, yeah, the stars and the moon, all that, they move above us, but we're not moving down here. Sorry, we tried, but that ain't what happens. That ain't what happens. And you got to feel for all those guys in history, how we're running up against all this. And when it was all said and done, their stories were rewritten. They were given a little narrow path of, yeah, they might have been onto something there, but look at the end, they were quack, crazy, marrying pigeons, doing all that. Yeah, those guys, they didn't know nothing. Listen to this guy. He's smart, but he's using all that guy's stuff. Yeah, he fixed them after that guy. Yeah, you know the stories. It's crazy. We we wrestle not with flesh and blood. We just don't. But I was going to say, on a happy note, Kathy, about 2 weeks ago, started going, I was looking at this car. And so it was on. It's almost 4 years since she had her last new car. And she can only go about 4 years. And so we went and got her a new Ford Edge this weekend. Nice little SUV type little cars. Nice little car. We had driven one for almost a month, a rental, when Alex's car was in the shop getting fixed. When she hit a piece of 18-wheeler tire out on I-10. Yeah, she liked it. She drives almost 60 miles round trip every day to work and back on the interstate. And so, yeah, her old car, it had 56,000 miles on it. I had a buddy in the industry that was a car salesman that told me a long time ago, if you're going to trade in a vehicle, trade it in before 60,000 miles. You'll get way more money for it. There's a cutoff there that you take it in and it's over that, you're going to lose a lot of money. And so the good deal for me was we were in Abilene in 2020, right before we moved out here. We bought 2 Kias. We took and traded in one vehicle and and bought 2 cars at one time. Well, the Kias are cheap enough. I got 2 cars for $30,000. And yeah. One of them was 17 and the other one was 13. And so what a deal. We paid those off in a year. And so when we traded it in, we got full price, traded on it. And so, yeah, it wasn't a bad deal at all. And that makes such a big difference when you have something paid off and, and you can get a good price for it. But these vehicles, if you hadn't been in a new car showroom lately, just go look at some prices. They had a Lincoln Navigator out there that was $92,000. That truck was more expensive. It was 3 times as expensive as the first house I bought. It was 3 times as expensive as 3 other houses I bought. That's crazy. And those new electric Mustangs, the Mach 4 EV, $77,000 for that Mustang. $77,000. It's just a golf cart with freaking cool little body on it. We almost bought one of those little Ford Bronco Sports, and we drove it. It just didn't drive as good as that Ford Edge. It drives good, nice ride, soft ride. But those vehicles, those prices are just wow. Who's affording those things these days? Especially in my community. That's one of the things. Right near us in Port Arthur is one of the largest. It may be the largest one in the U.S. oil refinery, and that community is one of the poorest in the area. Where's all the money going? Where's all the money going? Who's making all that money? Because it ain't here. It ain't there in Port Arthur. I mean, there may be a few people, on the higher up on the chain that live there, but the big money lives in Houston. They live over in Houston. The big money. It ain't here. It ain't in Port Arthur. But that's one of those things. Same thing in Big Spring, where I came from. We at one point had the largest inland refinery in the world until I think Saudi Arabia or Iran built a couple that are a little bigger. But it's a huge refinery right there on I-20 in Big Spring. And you think our community reflected the kind of money that oil refinery would bring? No, it didn't. It did not. Because in Big Spring, people with the big money lived over in Midland, or they live in Abilene or something. They don't live in Big Spring. A few of the lower end guys, I had some friends, their dads worked at the refinery, and they were upper middle class, but they weren't top dogs. They weren't top money. One of the best stories out of that refinery was the guy who invented the styrofoam egg carton worked at that refinery, and he never got a dime from it. They had the patent, they had everything. He just made his wages. Think about that. If he had gotten 1% of the money from egg cartons his whole life, you talking the money there, buddy. You ain't even kidding on that. That's funny. And sad. Poor guy. So what I understand, he was a single guy, nerd, an engineer, and hard worker, smart guy. Made him a lot of money. And I guess he was content with his life. How long have I been going? 47 minutes. Well, Vic, if you're still there, I think I'm going to check out. Just wanted to say, man, you guys, this is getting crazy. Can't believe at this point in time they're still trying to label stuff misinformation. I just don't get it. Or are they hiding? How do they think this is going to help? I don't understand how they thought taking my video down is going to help the overall cause. You just don't know. You just don't know. All right, everybody. If anybody sees this video, I ain't been on this channel in so long. I hadn't been on here forever. But Everybody, I love you. Good discernment, good vibrations. Y'all take care.